Welcome back to Polished Professionals, the blog and brand to help you conquer the workaday world with style and poise. I'm Mel, the founder of Polished Professionals. I'm an attorney, small business owner, and certified etiquette consultant. I look forward to bringing you today's episode. Today we are giving you the top 4 reasons you did not get a call back after your last interview. We hope that these are mistakes that you will learn to avoid in your next interview as you search for your dream job. Have you ever been waiting for a job offer to come in? You interviewed 3 days ago, the phone hasn't rang since, and you wonder what went wrong. Was it you? Was it something else? What could you have done to not get that call back? Well, today we can tell you those mistakes to avoid. The first reason you may not have gotten that call back is because you just weren't ready for the opportunity. Take that as a learning experience and be able to seize upon that in your next interview. So maybe you're hoping for an upward mobility position, one that really elevates you from your current job, maybe into a manager or director or vice presidential position, but you don't have the requisite education or the requisite experience in order to attain that job. Well, understand that the reason you may not have gotten a call back may be for this lack of skills. It's not because they didn't like you or because your resume wasn't strong enough to begin with. It did get you in the door, but they were clearly looking for some skills that you may not yet be able to offer. If you don't get the call back for this kind of situation, I recommend following up with the recruiter that you interviewed with or that the person that may have let you know about this job and ask what specific skill sets were they looking for. If this looked like your dream job, you really want to make sure that you have thought about the skill sets that you will need to add to your resume so that the next time you get an interview, you'll be able to nail it and you will definitely get that call back. I would recommend asking for specifics. Ask them if there's a degree that you needed, if there was a certification that you needed. What are the 3 or 4 tangible steps that you can take away so again, that the next time that you interview, you're really interviewing to grab that next opportunity. The second reason that you may not have gotten a call back is that you didn't leave the right first impression. First impressions are key when interviewing with a new company. So some things to think about: what you wear to the interview. We've got all kinds of tips on that on our website, polished-professionals.com, and we'll even link some of those below for you. Think about what you wear. Think about the handbags that you bring or the briefcases that you bring, the writing implements, the notepads, all of those things. You want to show them that you're somebody who's always prepared for anything when it comes to a job interview and beyond. Whenever I was interviewing somebody, I was always wanting to know whether or not I could put that person in front of a client. So these first impressions were really key because inevitably those are the same first impressions that you would give a client if I were to put you in front of a client. So another area to make sure you consider on first impressions is your cover letter and your resume. You may not have even gotten your foot in the door if your cover letter or your resume has errors, typos, anything like that, any misstatements. Those kind of things leave a really bad impression and show that you don't have attention to detail. And most jobs require a strong attention to detail in order to be successful. So make sure these little things that may not reflect at all on your actual skill set are really nipped up. You can really make sure that you leave a great first impression so that you can ensure you get the next call back. The next reason you may not have gotten that call back is because you were nervous and it showed. We talked about first impressions, but this goes a little bit further to discuss your body language, things that you say and do in an interview. One way that you can show that you're nervous, and again, this is something I look for if I want to put you in front of a client. Maybe you're biting your nails, maybe you're shaking your hand, you're crossing your arms, you seem really aloof, things like that. Those may be your nervous tics, and they aren't things that you exhibit in the workplace normally, but that you might exhibit whenever you are going for a job interview. You need to know what those tics are that you have so that you can address those and be able to control those the next time you're in an interview. One of the the things I like to do, and I know this may sound crazy and I've said this before, is stand in your best Wonder Woman pose, hands on your hips. It really does help boost your confidence before you go into a room. And if you need to grab onto something like a little squeeze toy that's very, very small, or a pen, something that just keeps you from moving around too much during an interview, that may be a really great way to help. Another thing I like to do when I get nervous is to make sure I'm taking notes. Notes make it seem like you're being judicious, that you are attentive, those kind of things, rather than nervous. So note taking may be another great way to calm your nerves and also avoid showing any kind of nervousness when you get into your next interview. And then they will be sure to call you back when you seem calm and confident at your next interview. The final reason that you may not have gotten a call back is because the job just wasn't right for you. I take this as a blessing in disguise. Maybe you didn't have the skill set. We talked about that as the first reason, but maybe it's more than that. Maybe it is along the lines of it's not the right cultural fit for you. Maybe it is a manager that was looking for another kind of personality to balance theirs out. You know, people look for different skill sets, and it's not just the hard skills they're looking for soft skills too. I always tend to trust the fact that people know that what they're looking for, and if I am not exhibiting those, I know it's not a place for me that I'm going to be successful. So I take the rejection as one of a learning experience, but also just one as a blessing, because you don't want to be in a place that isn't the right fit for you. So not all reasons that you don't get a call back are bad. Know that now, and just take every opportunity you can to interview. You can't do anything but improve your interviewing skills for the next time you are looking for your dream job. I firmly believe that the right doors open and the right doors close for you in your life. Take those closed doors as an opportunity to move on to the next great thing that is sure to befall you if you keep persistent in your hunt for your dream job. I definitely want you to make sure that you leave your tips in the notes below on how to make sure you get that next call back from your interview. We never want you to miss a thing on Polished Professionals. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below and hit the bell so you never miss a show. We also want to make sure that you get entered in to win our monthly beauty giveaway for all of our new subscribers. Want to know more about Polished Professionals? You can find us on the blog at www.polished-professionals.com. You can also find us on Instagram at polished_professionals.com, where we love to get in touch with you and get to know you more. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.